Hey, what is up guys? I'm George and welcome to a special video where we are going to be talking about the transfer of energy inside Minecraft. In this video, we will be working with the transfer of energy in Minecraft using a system. Now the focus of this video is the transfer of energy, and these are the three main types of energy we will be looking at. The first type of energy is gravitational potential energy, and this is the amount of energy that is forced upon the object by gravity. The equation for gravitational potential energy is mgh. The second type of energy is kinetic energy, and it will be shown using a minecart and a rail system. The equation for kinetic energy is half mv squared. The third type of energy is elastic energy, and this will be shown by using slime blocks, which was introduced to the game in version 1.8. The equation for elastic energy is half kx squared. Now allow me to start off by showing you guys the system we will be working with. The player will start off by going down the ramp in a minecart. When the minecart reaches its highest point on the ramp, it will be destroyed, leaving the player to free fall onto the slime blocks below. The player will then use the force of the slime blocks to jump onto the platform. Before we start out with any calculations, we must first find out the mass of both the player and the minecart. For this experiment, I will be using the mass of an average human, which is 70 kilograms, as the mass of the player. The minecart, however, is not so simple because there is no standardized mass for a Minecraft minecart. So what I'm going to do to figure out the mass of a Minecraft minecart is to utilize the information we do know, and that is the mass of iron in the real world. In Minecraft, a minecart is crafted from 5 iron ingots, and we know that 9 iron ingots will make an iron block that is exactly 1 meter cubed. Knowing this information, we can calculate the mass of a Minecraft minecart by using the mass of a 1 meter cubed iron block and finding the mass in 5/9 of that iron block. For this experiment to work, we also have to figure out the acceleration due to gravity in Minecraft. Now there's really no accurate way to determine the final velocity of an object in game, so I was forced to use the equation v initial t plus half at squared. I conducted this experiment by getting in a minecart 20 blocks off the ground, breaking the block below, and allowing the player and the minecart to free fall onto the ground below. I timed the fall multiple times, and the average time it took the player and the minecart to fall is around 2.45 seconds. By inputting these numbers into the equation, I was able to determine the acceleration due to gravity in Minecraft is 6.66 meters per second squared. Now let me explain how the energy is transformed in this system. When the player is sitting in the minecart at rest, the only energy that is present is gravitational potential energy, and when the cart moves down the ramp, the gravitational potential energy is transformed into kinetic energy. The player and minecart will continue to have kinetic energy until the cart reaches its maximum height on the ramp, where the kinetic energy will be transformed once again back into gravitational potential energy. After the minecart is broken, the player will start to free fall, which once again is a transformation from gravitational potential energy to kinetic energy. As the player lands on the slime blocks, the kinetic energy will transform into elastic energy for a split second before boosting the player back up again, transforming the energy back into kinetic energy. After the player lands on the platform, the kinetic energy will be transformed back into gravitational potential energy. Now that we've gone through how the energy is transformed in our system, we're going to figure out how much energy is lost through the whole trip, and we're going to be doing that by looking at the amount of energy we have at different parts of the system. Since energy will be lost upon motion, we only want to look at the energy when the player is motionless, thus we will use gravitational potential energy. To figure out the gravitational potential energy at the beginning of the system, we are going to use the formula mgh. The mass of the player plus minecart times the acceleration due to gravity times the distance the object is from the ground is equal to around 591,000 joules. The second point in the system when we have no kinetic energy is when the minecart reaches its highest height on the ramp, To figure out the energy the object has at this point, we must again use the formula for gravitational potential energy, which is the mass of the minecart plus player times the gravitational potential energy times the height. As we can see, the minecart does not travel to the height it started off with, so instead of using 20 meters, we will be using 17 meters in our calculation. Since the minecart will be destroyed, the energy will change again from the loss of mass. As we can see, the new gravitational potential energy of the player is now only 7,925 joules. The final point where we will only have gravitational potential energy is also the end of our system. The gravitational potential energy is transformed from kinetic energy, which was transformed from elastic energy of the slime blocks. Because the distance from the ground is now 10 meters, the total energy we will have at the end of the system is going to be 4,662 joules. Now, why are we ending up with less energy at the end of the system than the beginning? This is because energy is being lost in the system. Since the law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, where did all the missing energy go to in our system? During the minecart ride, 88,751 joules of energy is lost, and in the real world, this energy will be lost through friction, otherwise known as heat, and sound. Since there are no temperature in Minecraft, we can conclude that the energy is lost only through sound. And as a minecart gets destroyed, all the mass and energy that was part of the minecart will also be lost. At the end of the system, the elastic energy from the slime blocks will be transformed into kinetic energy just like a trampoline. In a real-life trampoline, energy will also be lost through heat and sound, and just like the minecart ride, the only loss of energy on the slime blocks will be sound. Now, when we compare the final energy of 4,662 joules and the initial energy of around 591,000 joules, we can see that our system is not very efficient. But just how do you calculate efficiency? Well, efficiency is calculated by dividing the energy output with the energy input. From this formula, we can see that the minecart rail system is around 85% efficient. We can use the exact same method to figure out the efficiency on the slime block trampoline, and we can conclude that it is 59% efficient. Now, what about the whole system? Well, if we divide the final energy of 4,662 joules by the initial energy of 591,674 joules, we can see that our system is extremely inefficient with only about 0.008% efficiency. We've come to the end of the video, guys. If you have enjoyed hearing me talk about physics in Minecraft, please leave a like on the video. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to subscribe.